Some of the best minds in the world bringing you some of the best knowledge on TRS Clips. When we say that two gods had a child, is it a way of actually saying that that energy that the child represents? And let's even put Ganpati into this conversation.
Sure.
Because even Ganpati was the younger brother of Skand,
Right.
of Kartikeya.
Right.
Do they both have elements from both the parents? Is it a way of saying it has some of Shiva and some of Parvati, and if you worship Kartikeya, you're getting both the blessings of Shiva and Parvati?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, indeed. In fact, it's beautiful if you realize that, Skand, of course, was created by for a specific purpose. There was a demon called Tarkasur.
Mm.
And after Sati's death, Sati's immolation, Shiva was completely, in a Vairagya mode, and he was not bothered about what is happening in the world. And Tarkasur, the demon, he realized that this was probably the golden opportunity, because all of these asurs, the demons, in the stories, they try to get the boon of immortality. And I call it the boon of conditional immortality that they get ultimately, because Brahma says everybody who's born has to die. You cannot be immortal. So if you have a specific wish, you tell me that. And all of these guys, they always find some loophole to exploit it and prolong their life as much as possible. So as Mahishasur said that I should be killed only by a woman, or rather I should not be killed by the male of any species, because he considered women with the weaker sex. Right. So Ravan, for example, said that I should not be killed by any of the divine species, because he considered humans were very weak. Or, Hiranyakshap, he said that I should not be killed in day or night, etc., etc. There's a very complicated boon that he arrived at. But God appears as Narsimha. And, he took care of all the conditions of the boon and then killed him. So Tarkasur, being, the oversmart, species that they were, he said that I should be killed only by the son of Shiva. And he knew Shiva was in ascetic mode right now and he was not married anymore. Sati was gone. So that was the very reason for creation of Kartikeya, where Parvati, once she succeeded in pleasing Shiva through her tapasya, and, Shiva realized that this was Sati reborn. And that's when, Kartikeya was created for the death of Tarkasur. For Ganpati, if you see, for Ganesh, in a beautiful way, it's again an amalgamation of Shiva and Shakti. But even though Ganesh was created by Parvati herself, it was only Parvati who created it. She created a doll out of the sandalwood paste, etc., whatever she was used to apply on her body, right? And she created a child out of it. And then she, basically make it come alive. And she asked the child to guard her chambers. And there's a whole story to it. And, when Shiva comes there and he sees this unknown kid, stranger, and blocking the way to his own home, he's angry, right? And then there's a fight that happens. And that child he doesn't know anyone else, right? For him, it's only Parvati. Who's, he knows only Parvati. He doesn't know anyone else in the world. So the child is so strong. He fights with the Deva army. He defeats Kartikeya. He defeats, so many other Devas. And actually, I mean, it's Shiva's forced to kill the child, because the child is actually creating a mayhem for the Devas, for the Ganas. And till then, Shiva doesn't really know. He realizes, that, this is going to land him in a soup, with his wife. But for the sake of maintaining, the entire, the morale of Ganas, of Devas, and to show them that, he's the boss, he probably has to take a step. And he beheads the child. Now Parvati is livid, and she summons these matrikas, the fierce goddesses, who start creating terror. Right. And then the gods again have to go and pray to her and, beg for forgiveness. And then Parvati says, I'll forgive this act only if my child is revived again. And that's when, Shiva asks for another head to be joined to the body. And he does it. There's another reason for why it's an elephant head, etc. The moment the elephant head is joined, the child comes alive. And Shiva blesses him to be the first, the Gan-ish, the Lord of the Ganas, so Lord of his own forces. So here you see the body was created by Parvati, but the head was joined by Shiva. So in an indirect way, Ganesh again is combining the energies of Shiva and Parvati.
What do Ganesh and Kartikeya represent? Like, how do you actually encapsulate the two energies of the parents in these two people?
It's not very easy to say about Kartikeya, but he is the Senapati. You know, he's the commander of the Deva forces. So he probably represents, you know, the alertness that you need to be, you know, aware of the demonic forces around you.
Probably this whole calm warrior energy.
Yes,
The calm
yes.
from Shiva and the warrior energy from the mother.
Yes, probably. But he's the one who, you know, tells us to be alert, you know, all the time. And there's so many times, you know, when you can slip. You know, it's very easy to slip in this path of spirituality, of meditation. You know, your monkey mind keeps jumping, you know, and probably Kartikeya or Skand or Murugan, as he's known, you know, he represents that steadfastness, you know, of being a fighter in that, you know, journey. You know, you have to be alert. You can't, you know, lose your focus. And Ganesh is, you know, he's chubby, he's cute, and Ganesh is actually also said to be the guardian of the Mooladhar chakra.
Yeah, which is the lowest chakra related
Lowest
to
chakra,
stability.
the first chakra where the Kundalini is coiled,
Yeah.
you know.
It's related to just having stability of your mind.
Yes.
As in avoiding overthinking, being able to catch your own mind.
Yes. So together, I think they are responsible. And Ganesh is, since that time that, you know, Shiva made him Ganesh, and, you know, so he was the person, he was the god, he was the energy that needs to be placated first before going on to worshipping any other god. So he's the god. That's why he's called the Lord of Beginnings. You know, he's a Lord of auspiciousness. So between the two, they capture the requirements of advancing in the spiritual journey.
Yeah. Maybe, you know, the spiritual way of looking at Ganesh is that because it's related to the first chakra, when you pray to him, first you stabilize your own mind before heading into
Right.
other forms of prayer or other kinds of meditations. And this is something we actually use in meditation practices.
Right.
We'll often first stabilize the lowest chakra,
Yes.
especially if it's a difficult meditation to go forth with.
Yes.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out the entire episode and also check out this playlist that we've curated just for you.